A young girl betrayed by those who should have loved her, a wicked stepmother determined to destroy her happiness, a fate that no one saw coming. This is the story of Nneka, the girl they rejected, but God lifted. Will she survive her suffering, or will fate turn against her oppressors? Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share to help us grow our channel. Enjoy yourself. In the quiet village of Unwago, where tall palm trees swayed in the breeze and the smell of roasting corn filled the air, a girl named Nneka lived a life that was anything but sweet. From the moment her mother died, her world turned dark. Her father, Chief Obinna, once loved her. He would carry her on his shoulders, buy her sweets from the market, and call her my precious jewel. But all of that changed the day he married Cordelia. Cordelia was not just a stepmother, she was a storm that swept into Nneka's life and destroyed everything. At first, she pretended to be kind, smiling sweetly whenever Chief Obinna was around. But the moment he left the room, her face would twist into something else, something cruel. Listen, you little rat, she had whispered to Nneka on her first night in the house. You are nothing here. Do you hear me? Nothing, she told her. From that day on, Nneka's suffering began. She became the family's maid, while Cordelia's daughter, Uju and Chisom, wore fine clothes and ate the best food. Nneka wore rags and ate leftovers. While they play outside with their friends, she scrubbed the floors until her fingers bled. While they slept in warm beds, she curled up on a tin mat in the cold kitchen. Her father, he saw it all, but Cordelia was a master of manipulation. Obinna, you spoil this girl too much, she would say, shaking her head. If you are not careful, she will bring shame to this family, she said. And slowly, bit by bit, Chief Obinna stopped seeing his daughter. He stopped asking if she had eaten. He stopped noticing the bruises on her arms. He stopped caring for her. And that was how Nneka became invisible in her own home. But fate was watching. Nneka's life in Chief Obinna's house, her father's house, was like living in a prison without walls. Every day started before the first rooster crowed. She would wake up in the dark, her stomach growling with hunger, and rush to the backyard to fetch water. If she wasn't fast enough, Cordelia would pour cold water on her where she slept. Lazy girl, you want to sleep while my daughters wake up to an empty house? She would run to the kitchen, light the firewood, and cook food she wasn't allowed to eat. When Uju and Chisom woke up, they would stretch, yawn, and call for her like she was their personal servant. Nneka, bring my slippers. Nneka, where is my dress? Nneka, my bath water is too cold. Do you want me to freeze? And if she was too slow, a slap or a pinch was waiting for her. At night, when she thought she could finally rest, Cordelia will find something else and she will shout, Nneka, you didn't scrub the floor well. Do it again. And so she will scrub with tears mixing into the soapy water, wondering if this was what life would always be. Her father, he would just sit in the parlor, reading newspapers, drinking palm wine, and acting like he didn't see or hear anything. Nneka wanted to scream, to ask him, Papa, do you not love me anymore? But she didn't bother. She already knew the answer. The suffering continued after many years, and Nneka matured into a beautiful young maiden. Then something happened that Cordelia never expected. One morning, as Nneka was washing clothes outside, a black jeep pulled up in front of the house. A tall, well-dressed man stepped out. His name was Emeka, the son of a wealthy businessman from the city. He was looking for a wife, and he had heard that Chief Obinna had beautiful daughters. Cordelia came out, adjusting her wrapper, smiling like a cat that just saw fresh fish. And she said, "Ah, my son, you are welcome," she said sweetly. "Please come in." Inside, she quickly served him food and started praising Uju and Chisom, her own daughter. "My daughters are well trained," she said, forcing a laugh. "They can cook, clean, and take care of a man. You will love them." Emeka smiled politely, but then cleared his throat and said, "Actually, ma, I heard about Nneka." The smile on Cordelia's face froze. "Put in Nneka." "Your husband's first daughter," Emeka said. "I heard she is hardworking and respectful. That is the kind of wife I want." For a moment, silence filled the room. Cordelia forced another smile and said, "Ah, Nneka." She laughed nervously. "Oh, my dear, I don't think she's ready for marriage. She is still young and still young?" Emeka frowned. "She is older than Uju and Chisom, your daughter, isn't she?" Cordelia forced a cough and said, "Well, let's not rush things. Let me introduce you to my daughters first." She clapped her hands. Uju and Chisom walked in, their faces glowing with makeup, their smiles as bright as the morning sun. "My daughters, meet Emeka," Cordelia said excitedly. Emeka looked at them, then back at Cordelia, and he said, "I came for Nneka," he said firmly. Cordelia's smile finally vanished. She tried to argue, but Emeka stood up. "Thank you for your time," he said. "If I cannot marry Nneka, I am not interested in anyone else." And just like that, he left the house. That night, Cordelia's face was dark with anger, and she shouted, "Nneka, come here!" Nneka rushed in, wiping her wet hands on her dress. Cordelia slapped her before she could say a word. "Who told you to go around seducing men?" she hissed. Nneka's eyes widened. I don't know what you mean, ma." Another slap landed on her face. "You think you can take Suitors away from my daughters?" Cordelia's voice was sharp. "Let me tell you now, you will never get married before Uju and Chisom, my daughters. Do you hear me?" Nneka's heart sank. She didn't ask for any of this. She didn't even know Emeka was coming. But Cordelia had already made up her mind. From that day on, whenever a suitor came asking for Nneka, Cordelia would lie. "Ah, Nneka, she is not feeling well. Nneka, she is too stubborn. Nneka, my dear, forget her. Come and see my beautiful daughters instead." And slowly, the suitors stopped coming. Nneka accepted her fate. Maybe she was not meant to find love. But what she didn't know was that fate was about to give her the biggest surprise of all. Months passed, and no more suitors came for Nneka. Cordelia was pleased. Uju and Chisom had already attracted a few rich men, though none had proposed yet. But Cordelia was patient. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the trees, another visitor arrived. This time, it was a young man named Ifeanyi. He was tall but simply dressed, no flashy jewelry, no expensive car. He came on foot, carrying a small leather bag. Cordelia took one look at him and hissed and said, "Who is this one, Kwan?" She muttered under her breath. But Ifeanyi spoke with confidence. "Good evening, ma'am," he greeted, bowing slightly. "I have come to ask for Nneka's hand in marriage." Cordelia almost laughed out loud. "A poor man coming for marriage," she said. She folded her arms and said, "My friend, do you even have money for bride price?" Ifeanyi smiled and said, I may not have much now, but I have a strong will and hard-working hands. I will take good care of Nneka. Cordelia didn't even think twice and said, "Take her!" She said immediately, "Take her right now!" Nneka, who had been eavesdropping, felt her heart drop. "Just like that?" she said. She thought of running, of protesting. But what was the point? She had nothing in this house, no love, no respect. If this stranger was her only chance at escape, maybe she could take it. And so, without celebration, without a proper farewell, Nneka was handed over like a bag of unwanted clothes. Chief Obinna, who has been in the house like a furniture, said nothing and did nothing. A woman whom he married with his own money handed his precious daughter's hand over to a stranger in marriage. What an abomination! Cordelia grinned, satisfied that she had finally gotten rid of the girl who had threatened her daughter's future. As Nneka walked away with Ifeanyi, she swallowed back tears. She had no idea where they were going. She had no idea what her life would become. But one thing was certain: her suffering in this house was finally over, or so she thought, because what was waiting for her was more than she could have ever imagined.